All right, guys, welcome back. It's still the same day. I'm working on this sprayer. It's a different day probably for you guys. Have a lot going on today, and it's just not going to fit in one 15-minute video that I posted yesterday. So let's get into today's video. All right, so the fuel tank is on its way as we speak. The fuel tank's coming, so I got this out to help lift it off. I'm just going to have them back in here, pick it off with the loader, and set it there in the corner. I got the corner all cleaned up. I don't know how much room we're going to need, but it'll go here anyway. So I got all these nozzle screens and caps washed and cleaned. I got all the dirt off. You can see the dirt that came out of all those little screens and stuff, all the little granules. Not too terrible, and I probably am lucky. I only have to do this once a year, but I'm not filling out of a dam, so that makes a difference. Usually if you're pumping water out of a dam or a pond, you tend to get more algae and sediment, that kind of stuff. So all in all, not too bad. Probably a lot of that was from the nitrogen. So we got everything cleaned. I do wash the caps as well. These caps I will wash because there is some residue that tends to stick down in there. And if you know anything about this style that threads on from T-Jet, there is no rubber. There's no rubber to seal anything. Everything is plastic. Your filter's going to go in, and that base is plastic, and all your tips are plastic. And what actually does the sealing is the pressure from the cap pinching against, and the cap itself. If you have a little bit of dirt down in the ring, you have a harder time keeping it sealed. I do like the threaded style, just because those quick, now granted, I haven't had any new ones ever. I always had ones that were wore out, but those quick attach ones that just go on with a quarter turn, the issue I always have with them, especially ones that are wore a little bit, is they tend to fall off, especially if you accidentally plant one of your booms down into the ground. And on hillsides and working around these rolly hills, it is common to accidentally drag the boom in the ground once in a while. The one boom I have, it does have a ski on it, and I should make one for the other side. But so either way, if I had new ones, I'm sure they're pretty good. But I do like the threaded style. If anybody had any questions on these mesh screens are the 50. 50 seems to work the best for me. As far as the nozzles I use, the tips, now you can go broke buying nozzles. There's so many nozzles out on the market and so many different price ranges. I mean, you can spend a fortune on spray tips depending on what you want. I mean, you can get the no drift, the low drift, the flood jet, I mean, you name it. What I use on the farm here are these T-Jet, they're XR T-Jet 8004 VK. For me, they seem to work out the best just because they're a perfect all-around tip. They're not very expensive. They are the ceramic center rather than the stainless steel. I went with the ceramic centers just because of the price. So these I will use for both the liquid nitrogen in the hayfields, as well as all my herbicide application. So this is what I find, for me anyway. I know guys have their preference. These tips I really like. They're the flat fan and seem to work pretty good. If it's windy, you don't want to be spraying with them, of course, because they're not really a no drift type of nozzle. But I try not to spray when it's windy. It doesn't always work out, but we do our best. So a couple other things to cover yet. So I wanted to show you one of the pain in the rear things on this sprayer. It's probably the #1 thing that drives me nuts about this sprayer and the design, and I'm not really sure how to change it. I'll have to look into it a little bit more, but it's not that it's wore, or it's not that it's an old sprayer. The problem with these booms folding the way they do, and Demco, a lot of the sprayers fold, that it's just all compact, and basically it's not an X and it's not forward, it just all crumples up right back here in the rear, is how these booms fold. And every year it seems like I have to put a new hose on right where the hinge is here. You'll notice it holds out that you need a nozzle there just to get your 20 inches, and it hinges right here. There's your hinge. So you only have this little nub sticking out here of this T that's on here, and this hose gets pinched every single time. You're folding this hose over, almost just pinching it right shut when you fold up this boom, and it is such a pain. And I tried to have a longer one, and if you have it longer, then it doesn't close up right away. It tends to pinch everything else in here, and I can't move anything. So it's just kind of a pain, I guess, I have to deal with. This sprayer on these booms, you can't fold them forward. It doesn't let you. It's a stop. It's only made to fold back. So I can't really do anything about that, the way they fold. But just every year, it's the same deal with these. You can see this one. So it's a constant thing that I have to deal with. I'm still trying to figure out exactly how I can remedy this problem. So I'll have to look into it some more. But it was one of these on the back that last year I was spraying the Volunteer corn and the soybeans, and my pressure dropped, and I didn't notice it right away, and I couldn't see any problems, so I throttled up a little more, and then I saw it squirt, and one of those hoses came off, and it was just blowing herbicide everywhere. Luckily, that stuff you use on the Volunteer corn, it didn't hurt the beans at all. But still, it's kind of one of the biggest pains on this sprayer for me anyway. The only other pain in the neck as far as spraying with the setup I have here with the tractor and the sprayer, I can't get the 3-point hitch arms off of this tractor for anything. I can get that side off. This side, it's rusted. The pin is rusted right fast down in there, and I was heating it, and you can't get in with a hammer to hit it out, and it's just all kind of, there's no way to access to get it out. I've been spraying it up. I thought with using it, last year I had it on the hay rake. From using it and spraying it, it would work itself loose. No such luck. And I want these 3-point arms off of this tractor because you'll notice on a lot of sprayers you have a real nice long tongue for turning, so you can turn. On this, it's not the case. You have this jack sitting here. You can't take this style of jack off. It's the type that has the snap ring. I'd have to pull a snap ring off every time I want to put it on and off, so you got that sticking out. And then you don't have very much room here as far as turning. So your 3-point arms are always, you got to take wide turns with it, and in small little round or triangular fields, it's not always the easiest. So I got to get these 3-point arms off of here one way or another. I guess I have to get more aggressive with the torch. That's the only thing I know to do at this point, and you got to watch because the fuel tank's right above it. So just the two little pain in the neck things that I want to try to get solved here, because it's just every year it's the same fighting the same problems, and we don't want to keep doing the same thing all the time and not learn anything, or it's just going to drive me nuts. So one more thing, I think. All right, so I know I forgot to mention this before we reassemble and put this all back on the sprayer. Everything is pretty well dry now. I use an air compressor, and I will blast a little bit of air through all the nozzles and screens, just in case if you got some dirt in while it was in here. You don't want any dirt inside the screens that could get to the spray tip, because you'll notice how small that spray tip is, and it doesn't take a big piece of dirt to block it. So being clean is the name of the game as far as this stuff goes, and just a little blast with the air compressor and it should be good to go. So all right, I'm waiting for the fuel tank. I'll catch you when they get here. All right, one other thing here while I'm waiting for this fuel tank. I just had a thought. I've been wanting to do this for a while now, and I guess today will be the day, the video I'm going to do it. I want to give a shout out to another channel here on YouTube. It's something I want to do. There's a guy on here that farms, and really I've been watching a lot of his videos, and I enjoy his channel. Now, he does run John Deere equipment, so for any guys that watch, they're John Deere fans, if I have any left, that is, go over and check out John Stevens. And I think he had just changed the channel. It's John Stevens Maple Grove Farms or something like that. I'm going to post a picture at the end of this video to show you what the channel you're going to be looking for. I think he's been on here for over a year anyway. If you're interested in no-till or anything with no-till, the cost of no-till, different comparisons between strip till, he does a lot of great videos and has a lot of good information. He just picked up more land, and that was a pretty neat video that he was able to rent more land, and he took some time off of work now to be able to farm and to catch up on the farming. So that's kind of everybody's dream, to get to that point where you can start farming and basically full time. So yeah, he's got some pretty good content. I really enjoy it. I know it's more John Deere, and that's all right. I'm not going to overly discriminate. I'll watch it sometimes, but I think he's got like 160 subscribers, and he's been on here for over a year. So I think it's time we go over there and get him into the click here, as you could say. He's got some pretty good content. So I'll like I say, I'll maybe put a link in the description to help you find his channel. Like I say, 160 subscribers. I'm hoping some of my subscribers will find it interesting and just get his channel clicking here. I'm not on here a year. I got lucky, I guess. Like I say, I had some of my... All right, guys, so I got interrupted there. We had the fuel tank show up today. That should be a good spot. Should be far enough away from the door, it won't hit it. We got it leveled and shimmed up there. So should be good to go as far as that goes. Just trying to rearrange the shit again. I'm out of time, like I said. Anyway, like I was saying, I had a lot of help getting started on YouTube, as far as a couple of my videos were shared to the big farm sites. I know that combine video from the Massey really was popular, and that really helped me grow. I think it was about 600 or so subscribers till I got my first shout out. But I want to kind of return the favor and check out John Stevens. I'll put the link below, and I will put a picture. So thanks for watching, everybody. Today turned into one of those days where felt like you got nothing done, but you got a little bit of everything done. So I have to keep working at the sprayer. I just put it away. So we will continue this. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for tomorrow.